And looks like the streaming is turned on, so we got that notice, and then Heidi.
Oh, that's neat.
Turned.
Ah, very cool.
Like different things she has to do here. So she does one thing, confirms another, and then we got the good. Okay, you're ready to start, Eileen, whenever.
All right. So this is the meeting of the West Hartford Library Board, and the meeting will come to order. Welcome to the June 26, 2023 meeting of the West Hartford Library Board. My name is Eileen Daly, and I am the chair of the West Hartford Library Board. This meeting is being conducted in a virtual format allowed by law. Members of the public can view the meeting live on West Hartford Community Television at www.whctv.org and www.youtube.com/WHCTV5. The meeting is also being recorded for on-demand viewing and will be available on the town's website for at least 45 days. Since we are conducting this meeting in a virtual format, there are some special rules and procedures that I need to cover before we begin. First, I ask all participants to mute your device when you are not speaking. If you wish to be recognized, please raise your hand and I will call on you in the order I see hands raised. Call on you and the debate is ending, then unmute your phone. Second, all speakers must make a good faith effort to state the person's name and title at the outset of each occasion that such person participates in the meeting. Third, all votes must be taken by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. Fourth, a reminder that if any participant has a problem with connectivity, you should immediately Heidi Hogan so that she can provide help on the phone number you were provided earlier. Heidi will let me know and we will recess the meeting while the problem is resolved. If it cannot be resolved quickly, we will ask you to call into the meeting using a phone and participate via audio only. I will now call the roll and note the staff members who are present. Kim Cohen.
Kim Cohen, Library Board Member, present.
Natalia Menjivar, Library Board Member, present.
Thank you. Also, EJ Greenspan.
EJ Greenspan, Library Board Member, present.
Thank you. Gail Crockett hasn't come up on board yet, but
yeah. Yes, I am.
Okay, I didn't have you on my screen. I'm so sorry.
That's quite all right. Gail Crockett, Library Board Member, definitely here.
Beautiful, thank you. Also present is Laura Irmscher, Library Director, and Office Operations Specialist Heidi Hogan, and library staff. And we have no library staff members otherwise. So that is care of that. And so with that, I'll go to the agenda and call the meeting to order. Is there any public comment that you're aware of? There's no. Okay. We'd like to make, may we have a motion to approve the consent agenda for items 4 and AII. I see you, Gail, and then Kim with a second. Okay. All in favor? You can raise your hand or we can do a roll call. What's your preference?
Are we allowed to do the hands?
Yeah, if everyone's in approval, it says that you can, and it's unanimous, then you don't need a roll call.
Got it.
If we had anyone opposed, then we do the roll call. Okay. Is everybody comfortable with that now? Okay. So that's approved. And thank you. And then the item 4 is for the approval of the minutes of the May 22nd, 2023 meeting. May I have a
I think you have EJ.
EJ? Thank you.
I can second.
Okay. Thank you, Kim. All in favor? All right, so approved. So the next item is the chair's report. It's not really a report, but it's addresses the summer board meetings. Normally, I think we skip one of the meetings, depending on the dates for those. There's my phone. Sorry.
I have the dates if you want me to say them.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Laura. Yeah, I hadn't written them down yet. So
There-
July.
Yeah, it's July 24th and August 21st.
Okay.
And they're listed on the schedule as optional, so I think you can determine if you want one or both of them or how you want the summer to go.
How about that? Okay. What's everybody's preference? Do you have any feelings? Thoughts? Do you want me to make the decision?
I'll weigh in. I'm all for not meeting in July and August.
Yay.
Laura, do
Maya?
you see any reason why you think you would want us to convene, or should we leave it tentative in case there's a need to meet?
Just maybe leaving August tentative because to tell you more about the strategic planning cohort, but there
Sure.
might be a need to give you some information about that plan, and the end of September might be kind of late to do that. But
Sure.
I'm still not sure of the schedule, but if you wanted to leave it tentative, that might be helpful.
All right. Why don't we do that?
If it's not needed, however you want to do that.
Maybe Eileen, maybe we cancel July.
EJ, that'll help you. Not have to
Yeah,
go
which
there.
works for my schedule
Yeah.
too, and then maybe make August tentative if that works.
Oh, yeah,
for you.
I'm all for that. Yep. And then a tentative August for Laura and us, of course, so that we can support her. So may I have a motion to meet, let me see. I don't know, do you say not to meet in July and have a tentative meeting in August?
Yeah, I think it's to cancel the July meeting.
Cancel versus just cancel? Meeting of the board and to hold tentative the August 21st meeting, oops, where are you? Meeting of the library board, which will probably actually occur, because it sounds like we'll need to do, which is be okay. Anyone? Ken, thanks. And I have a second.
You have Natalia.
Okay. All in favor? Yes. Natalia, I need to adjust my screen to see
Yes.
you. Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, that's good. All right. So we're going to item 6 for old business. Laura, you can talk about the circulation policy as you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Laura Irmscher, Library Director. I wanted to give you an update after the circulation policy. to be implemented July 1st. So we've been getting ready to go fine free and roll out our new policy. We've been making some behind the scenes adjustments in our catalog to make sure that all of the changes are ready to go into effect on July 1st. We do plan to make the public announcement on July 5th. I didn't want to lose the attention of everyone over the holiday weekend. And because the 1st is a Saturday, I want everybody to know this because I think it's exciting news. While everything will be live in our catalog, but we're going to make our big public announcement on July 5th. We've created an FAQ document to explain why we're doing this and help to answer some questions that might come up. And we're preparing our staff to answer questions and assist patrons. We're also looking into ways to spread the word, whether it's through postcards through the mail, a press release from the town, or other kind of non-traditional challenges to get the word out to not our regular users or people who maybe haven't been to the library in a long time, so that they hear that in addition to our newsletter and our regular library channels. I shared the announcement today on the Connecticut Library listserv, and we became the 129th library in the state to go fine free. So very happy that we are only on that list. So that's my update for the policy rollout. Eileen, oh, sorry, Kim.
No, just before we move off that topic, I think it's really exciting. I'm sure this will be addressed in the FAQ, but will it also involve a forgiveness of everyone's current fees? And I'm not just asking for like the 70 cents I've been carrying for 5 years, but which I really just intended to donate, and I think I still will. Because that's something that might, if there's anybody who's felt self-conscious or embarrassed about returning to the library, I think that's huge to emphasize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kim. That's a great point. So we are forgiving all the fines on everyone's account. So any lost items, you still need to return the item or pay the replacement, but any fines that were accrued, we're going to forgive those. And staff have also already been kind of either way
terrific.
Charging fines because they didn't want people to be like, what? I just paid that yesterday. So we've been kind of very gentle with that. So since we knew this was coming, and we've also been kind of working on some language if people were like, oh, but in May I paid this, to let people know that the town voted on this for next fiscal year. So it really is a budgetary thing that takes effect on July 1. But yeah, that's one of our really big selling points. Don't worry about anything. Like everything it's clean slate. So come on back and enjoy all of our collections and services.
Thanks, Laura. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, that's fine. I was just going to say I have a second item in this old business, and I was wondering if you wanted me to move on to that.
Certainly.
So I wanted to give you a legislative update. I've talked to you several times about the ebook bill. Sorry to say that died in committee. It came up for a vote, but then there were amendments that were put on it that were intended to kill it. I'm not a legislator, but I know that it didn't come to fruition this year. But I've talked a lot with my colleagues across the state, and they feel like we are in a really good position, that we have laid a solid foundation, and that this is actually typical, that bills take several years to go through the process, to get enough awareness among legislators to actually make it out of committee and come to a vote, and for people to be aware enough to support it. And so people feel like we are in a strong position to come back to this, and next year we will build on the understanding of this, the awareness of the issue. We have some legislators that are in support of this so far, and a lot of the library staff members and directors working on this are feeling optimistic that we'll make more progress next year. So I wanted to let you know where that was, but I also wanted to let you know there was kind of a surprise in a bill that did pass in SB 2, which is an act concerning the mental, physical, and emotional wellness of children. This one, I believe, is still pending the governor's signature, but did pass the legislature. And it includes funding to restore the public library incentive grants for libraries. And it's specifically for libraries that maintain and adhere to collection development policies that have a clear process to request a reconsideration of library materials. And so this language was a response to book challenges that have been happening across the state and across the nation. And it's a way to ensure libraries are following best practices and they have the appropriate authority to address any challenges that come up. The grants have not been funded for several years. This is something that libraries used to get, and it's about $1,200 per library annually. So funding has been restored for this program with the requirement for the policy. And our state library has sent some information about the regulations, and I will be making sure that we are in full compliance with this. As I understand it, we have a selection policy, we have a clear procedure, we have a form for patrons to fill out, and the policy outlines it. So as I understand it, we're completely in compliance, but I'll be following all the information to make sure that we get that grant. And it's a nice addition from the state for our funding, and I think the language and the support for libraries to do what they're supposed to do, from best practices, from the guidance from ALA, is strong support that I'm happy to see. Does anybody have any questions on this?
Sounds very good. And I'm sorry about the ebook bill. So I'm a big user of the Wiki Overdrive combo, and let alone the budgetary consequences. So, all right. Well, thank you for that update. So what's your new business, Laura?
New business is that we were selected along with 6 other libraries to join the inaugural strategic planning cohort through the Connecticut Library Consortium. So this is a new program from CLC that I did give you a heads up about, but I was hoping I would be able to share this with you. CLC will assist with the organization of a planning committee, drafting a communications plan, drafting a community staff and board engagement plan, analyzing data, and drafting a strategic plan. They've developed a structure to lead us through the entire planning process with regular meetings and check-ins, opportunities to work with other library directors in the program, and one-on-one meetings with Maureen Sullivan, who is the expert consultant that CLC has contracted with and will be leading the process. So we'll be working with them to plan community engagement opportunities and collect data to inform our plan. The first, to let you know, the other libraries in the cohort with us is Berlin Peck, Portland, Waterford, Cromwell Belden, Bethel, and East Haddam. The first meeting of the library directors in this cohort will be July 19th, and that will be to kick off the program so we understand how everything is going to work, and then we expect it to really get into gear in September. They've put together a timeline for us, and the plan is that we will have a draft plan written by the end of December. So I'm very excited to have this start, to have a lot of people to work with. I think that this will be a great opportunity for us to develop a strong plan for the library, and personally I'm looking forward to having a lot of colleagues to work with to kind of navigate this process. So I'm very excited about that, but happy to answer any questions now. I'm still in the learning stage, and I expect to know a lot more after the July 19th kickoff meeting.
Sounds like a great opportunity, Laura.
And it's much less than if we were to hire a consultant individually. There's a significant savings too.
The benefit of the brainstorm of some peers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for jumping in on this. This is going to be something else once it gets done, and got a lot of good backup and people to work with. We wish you good luck, and look forward to hearing how it's going.
Thank you.
So at this point, we're ready for your director's reports, Laura?
Yes, thank you. So we have had so much going on, and I'm going to tell you the condensed version. So June has been a really exciting time to be in West Hartford, and the library has been involved in a lot of the festivities and things that are happening around the town. With the beginning of the month, which is Caribbean American Heritage Month, there was a kickoff event that was originally scheduled for outside on Webster Walk, but because of the weather, they moved into the library and we hosted them in our meeting room. So we also, in collaboration with that, I have been hosting an exhibit called A Home Away from Home, Greater Hartford's West Indian Diaspora. It's brought to us by Dr. Fiona Bernal, Associate Professor of History and Africana Studies at UConn. The exhibit is up through this week still, and it's in our new books area in the Noah Webster Library. So if you haven't had a chance to see it yet, you still have a few days to come in and check it out. The next weekend was Celebrate West Hartford, and once again, we hosted a library booth. We had a few hundred people stop by and chat with us. We had a big Scrabble board, and we invited people to play a word in our Scrabble game. And even though each person only played a word, they were crazy competitive. It was so much fun to see people trying to figure out like the most points they could get. We had fun library giveaways, and we actually answered reference questions at the booth. I was calling over to the library to get people to get me some resources. So it's always fun to get out in the community and see people just respond with such enthusiasm for the library. On June 13th, we hosted our second annual Gertrude Blank storytelling event. This year's storytellers carried on the excellent tradition that was established last year with the first event by honoring Gertrude and captivating the audience with their own stories. We've already heard from people asking about next year's event, and we're just really glad to see this program resonate so strongly with the community, and we're excited to just keep building it year after year. The following weekend was Juneteenth, and we had a story time in our children's department with Sharnae Gordon, author of the books Lift Every Voice and Change and A Friend Like You. And we had some crafts set up throughout the day. And then Pride Month has been happening all month long as well. So we've been celebrating with an art show in our gallery, book displays in all locations, a display in our local history room, and we had crafts for children and teens on Saturday. And it might seem like a lot, but then we've got July that I have to tell you about. So coming up in just less than 2 weeks is Bookworm Fest. And this one is going to be amazing. So it's a free event open to all ages. It's going to be from 12 to 4 in the afternoon here at Noah Webster. And this is an event to celebrate gaming, science fiction, and fantasy, and with a fun afternoon at the library. We're going to have vendors demonstrating games and selling goods throughout the day. This whole thing has been organized by library staff with huge kudos to Carrie Karp, Rachel Graves, Andy Droney, and Rebecca Nugent. And they're collaborating with staff from the Bloomfield Public Library and getting assistance from the Farmington Public Library. And here's just a few of the exciting activities we have going on. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with LARP, stands for Live Action Role Play. We have a group called Myth LARP that's coming in. They normally run a story-driven live action fantasy role-playing game on a 4-H campus in northeastern Connecticut. And during Bookworm Fest, they're going to be at the library hosting an immersion room. We're also going to have panels on Dungeons and Dragons and how to be a dungeon master. We'll have an escape room running multiple sessions throughout the afternoon, board and dice game demonstrations from local vendors. There's going to be a sci-fi scavenger hunt. We'll be making use of the equipment and expertise of Studio 20 and having virtual reality and 3D printing. Outside, we'll have face painting and Smite the Knight, just a friendly challenge to take down a knight in full armor using spell packets. And we're also going to have a musical performance in Blueback Square with the Penniless Jacks. Some of the events are going to require registration because there's limited capacity. We have everything listed on our library calendar, and we're encouraging everybody to check out the individual events and sign up if necessary. Although we also have a lot of things going on, you can just drop in and see the activities. The library will be open for regular operations, 10 to 5 like normal. We do suggest if people are looking for maybe a regular library experience to check out one of our branches because there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of activities going on that day. And we're really excited to just bring so much fun and joy into Noah Webster and celebrate all things fun and fantasy. And then the following weekend is the Children's Fun Run, and this you may have heard of it under a different name. It used to be Lace Up for the Library, and then another race took our name in April, and we had to rebrand it. So now it is Book It Fun Run. So this is a race or a fun run for children celebrating the library. It's going to be on July 15th at 10:30 at Sterling Field. We have races planned for children of all ages. We're giving out 200 race day capes to the first registrants. We have volunteers on hand to assist. Fleet Feet's going to be providing a balloon arch for the finish line. I heard a rumor we're trying to get a bounce house, but I don't know if we have that confirmed yet. And this is all provided by the Library Foundation, and we're excited to celebrate this event. And then looking forward into the fall, we just announced our 2023 West Hartford Reads author of Nick Hornby. So we'll be hosting a series of book and film discussions this summer and fall leading up to the featured program that will be on October 12th. And there's just stuff happening every day. We're so busy. Our staff is amazing. I can't believe everything that's happening. So I wanted to give you the condensed version, but I'm happy to answer questions or anything else that's going on.
Important space, exciting.
Natalia?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Gail, you're unmuted. Okay, Gail Crockett, Library Board Member. Excuse my ignorance, but where is Sterling Field?
It's next to Charter Oak.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was the only one who didn't know. I just assumed.
I don't have any little children, so anyways, I was like, Sterling Field. Did we build a new field in town? Okay, thank you.
Natalia?
Natalia Menjivar, Library Board Member. Gail, I'm so glad you asked because I actually didn't know either, and I do have young kids, so maybe that should go out in the publication near Charter Oak, because I would have had to just Google the direction and the address. I wanted to say, who are we to credit? Who are we to credit for the good name for the race? I love it. Book it. Such a clever idea.
So Karen Palmetier, our branch manager, Bailey Berardino, our children's librarian at Bishop's, and Carol Waxman have been the leads and really doing all the work on this. So I think it was a collaborative brainstorm. But I really
the library was so good, but we managed to get another good one. So thank you.
Just Nick Hornsby seems like a real win. He, has a lot of fun books. So I bet, unless he has no personality, despite his sense of humor in his books, I imagine he'll be a very charismatic speaker. What is that? I know there's been capacity issues with some of the more popular speakers in the past. Are you thinking that would be at one of the schools, or what would the plan be?
Yes, that is the plan. We have a few different, so we definitely have one of the schools on board, but we're looking to see if we can get another one that has a higher capacity. So we will have one that has at least 600 people, but we're trying to get one of the larger auditoriums. They needed to get through the end of the school year before we could work on scheduling. But we're excited we think he's going to be a big draw, and we're hoping to have
Great.
Laura?
Yeah.
Gail Crockett, Library Board Member. So, Laura, this event, Nick, will it be like it was before, where people registered, or they had to get tickets in advance? How are you working? And is it open to outsiders? I shouldn't say outsiders, folks who don't reside in West Hartford. How public is this?
It's going to be open to everyone. We're not going to require library cards. Anyone can come. We are planning for sort of a in-person, like you have to get a ticket in order to enter. And so we're going to have that a few weeks before the event. There's going to be a defined time where people can come in and get a ticket. And then we'll know, like, if we sell out of those tickets, we'll know we're at capacity, or if we don't give away all the tickets, we'll have a few more weeks to spread the word a little more to get people to go. But we're expecting it to be sold out or near that. So we're going to have to monitor that. We've also booked a banner on Unity Green that we'll have promoting the event, I think near the date for the tickets, so that we'll be able to tell everybody how to get to the event.
Will it also be in WeHa and public access?
Yeah. Andrew Pirro, our adult services librarian, he's been the lead on this project, and he and Maura have an entire communications strategy mapped out. So they have, like, every week something's happening. So there are press releases, there are social media things. They have a lot of things earmarked. So we're starting to tease it, and then as we schedule the discussion talks and get a little bit closer to the ticketing and the event, there's going to be a lot more information going out to the press and promotion for it.
One final question: how far in advance will people be able to come in to get a ticket?
So it's, I believe that what we're having is an in-person instead of online. So you have to come in like the day that we're giving out tickets. So you have to be here in person. We'll probably have a limit of how many tickets each person can pick up, but there's not going to be online registration because those will go too quickly and the local residents won't have the same access to it if we just put it up online. I think it will go too far beyond. Anybody who Googles his name will see that. So we're trying to, as much as we can, to make it available to West Hartford while still allowing other people to come in.
But the question is, how far in advance will people be able to come in to get those tickets? Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
No, like there will be on Thursday at 6:30, you can pick up tickets. So you can start lining up that day, but we're not going to release. There's going to be a specific day and time that we'll release the tickets. So you can come in. You'll have to like line up that day.
No, I know. I'm just trying to understand. Are you doing it a week before the event, 2 weeks before the event, 3 days before the event?
Okay. I don't know that we have the specific date. It's a few weeks before the event, but we haven't set the date for it yet. I'm sorry, I was not understanding your question. I'm sorry.
All right. Excuse me. EJ, did you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just to the end of allowing sort of equitable access to these tickets, have you given thought to daytime versus nighttime when you're going to have people be able to come in and get the event tickets in advance?
Yeah, we were thinking that nighttime would probably allow for the most people to come in, but we've also talked about holding a certain number of the tickets, so not in either doing like 2 opportunities or a certain number is ticketed and then there's a certain number of kind of first come first serve the night of. We're trying to figure out how we can balance it to make more access without it being like a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, and again, sorry, EJ Greenspan, library board member. I don't think there's any way to make everybody happy, but as long as you guys are being aware of the issues, I think that's great. Whatever you decide.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. And anything else? Any other thoughts or comments?
Excited. Hopefully, I get a ticket.
So it looks like we have a tentative meeting set for August 21st under item 9. Anyone else want to add anything to the meeting, or we're all set? All set? Okay, so may I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Gail? Thank you. Second, Kim? Thank you. All in favor? All right, approved. All right, so the meeting's adjourned. I hope you have a great July. We'll see you around town. And